Man, if the Dodgers can get these guys, then so can the Yankees. Let's talk about it. What's going on, everybody? Happy New Year to all of you. May your 2024 be bigger and better and greater, healthier, filled with more love and happiness than 2023 was. Okay? And I thank you all for your support for the channel and everything that we do here. I cannot emphasize how grateful I am for all of you and for the input you bring into the live streams, to the chats, to in the comments. I say this to a lot of folks. I learn from you folks as much as you might learn from me. So keep it coming. Keep being yourselves. We're Yankee fans. Let's keep sharing in this great history we have together, this great family we have together. I also want to send out a special thanks. Last night I was part of a panel with Mikey Mazza from 4 Train Express and Pinstripe Chronicles Express, and Dane Huber from NYYU. And I thank both of those guys. And they bring a great dynamic to this team. Dane Huber is also very, very knowledgeable. He comes from the player development side and the prospect side. He brings a dynamic that's much needed and greatly appreciated, really. And Mikey Mazza too, man. You're becoming so good, and your knowledge is so strong in terms of everything baseball and Yankees. Keep it coming, man. Keep it coming, both of you. Keep up the great work. Really, I thank you both for what you brought to the live stream, what you always bring, and I'm grateful to be part of that with you. So, with that, last night we talked about. Obviously, we talked about the Yankees and what to do with this moving forward. What's crazy is the Yankees have been proactive for like the first time. I can't remember the last time they struck this early. But the Yankees made all these trades early in the offseason, which they never do. And now it looks like they haven't done anything in a lifetime because nothing of notice for a lifetime. Even though they've added bench depth, they've added infield depth, outfield depth, they've added relief pitching, bullpen depth, and we still have guys coming back too, right? Luis Hill coming back in Tommy John, Scott Efros coming back in Tommy John. Okay, and there still sounds like to be an appetite for adding another power arm. And we talked about some of these guys last night: Yariel Rodriguez, Jordan Hicks, Josh Hader, who's a fit, who might not be a fit. And the topic also turned to what else the Yankees should do in terms of starting pitching. And there's a lot of things that we know right now. The prices for the starting pitchers, whether it be free agency or trade, are insanely high. And I echo Dane's sentiments when he said he's glad that the Yankees didn't give Frankie Montas that massive overpay or Lucas Giolito that massive overpay. He's absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. So, because the fact is they were massively overpaid. You know, I'm glad the Yankees didn't do it, but I'm glad they got paid from someone else. So good for them and congratulations to them. So, but there's still a lot of other guys that are available. And we talked about other pitchers as well. Blake Snell, Jordan Montgomery. They're both rep by Scott Boras. We also think they're both going to get overpaid, because Yoshinobu Yamamoto was massively overpaid by the Dodgers as well. Okay, and then we turned towards and thank you to everybody who brought feedback in the comments as well, because the turn to Shota Minaga, turn to Roki Sasaki, and so on and so forth. Okay, and with Roki Sasaki, 21, maybe 22-year-old Japanese fireballer right now. He's a little bit different than Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who's undersized, about 5'9", 5'10". Sasaki's 6'2", 6'3". He's a big boy, okay? And he throws harder than Yamamoto does as well. But he's also not here yet. And he comes with a lot of hype, just like Yamamoto did. Just like Daisuke Matsuzaka did. Just like Hiroki Kuroda did. Just Masahiro Tanaka did, right? Hideo Nomo. A lot of these other pitchers as well came with a lot of hype during their time. At the time, these guys were considered some of the greatest pitchers ever to come out of Japan. Rightfully so. We've moved forward since then. And it's not to take anything away from these guys. And Dane brought up a couple of important points last night. He brought up there's a clause in his contract, Roki Sasaki, that based on how he was signed or drafted or whatnot, that allows him to ask to be posted early. Good. But that clause in his contract also, and I'm going to point this out, and I pointed out last night, does not require his team to post them early. Okay, because they would be walking away from tens of millions of dollars in posting fees. If it required them to post them early, they would have done it in December when he asked to be posted early. They didn't. So, and that's not to take anything away from Roki Sasaki. Okay. And Dane pointed out another great accomplishment from Roki Sasaki, his perfect game he threw in 2022. 19 strikeouts, 13 consecutive. Absolutely freaking amazing. Okay. And can't take anything away from that. And I'm glad that he pointed that stuff. I like when people point out great accomplishments. I do it when it comes to players, when it comes to even managers and coaches and GMs and all this stuff as well. Even though some people hate it, I still do it. That's it. That was a hell of an accomplishment from Roki Sasaki. So thank you, Dane, for pointing that out, because you're absolutely right. Okay. I'm going to point out more stuff right now. Before I get to that, make sure if you're not subbed to this channel, please do that right now. Please hit that notification button too. I want you to get the news, and I want you to be the front of the line when it comes in. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for it. I'll make sure that you get everything, when Yankees or not. Okay. And you get it quickly. So, but I'm going to post something here. Okay. This is a list of no-hitters and perfect games by MPB pitchers in Japan. You might notice a couple of people on here. Okay. Yoshinobu Yamamoto's on here twice. June 18, 2022 and September 9, 2023. Okay. He's considered the greatest pitcher nowadays to ever come out of Japan. And with that hype, brought him a huge contract from the Dodgers. Okay. You'll see also, and the guy that's on posted right now who has to make a decision before January 11th, Shota Imanaga, the lefty ace from Japan. He also threw one June 7, 2022. Roki Sasaki, April 10th, 2022. Okay. And look who else is on here. Kodai Senga. Okay, September 6, 2019. Who's an absolute gem with the Mets right now. And we'll get to it. Okay. Who's not on here? Masahiro Tanaka, Daisuke Matsuzaka, Deo Nomo, even though Nomo threw 2 no-hitters in the majors. Kenta Maeda's on here. Okay, and look who else is on here. Kei Igawa, October 4th, 2004. Okay. So why do I bring that up? Well, I bring this up because you could have thrown a no-hitter or a perfect game in Japan. And there's a lot of talk about the conversion of whatever 10, 20% of how it differs and so on and so forth. There's no really mathematical formula that equivalates to that. Like, I didn't think Kodai Senga would be this good. He didn't come with that fanfare and the hype, but he was really good in his rookie season with the Mets. They got him on a good deal. It looks to be severely underpaid. So kudos to him. But then guys like Kenta Maeda, decent. He's on this list. Kei Igawa's on this list. He was a total bust. Okay. So, and that's not to take anything away or poo-poo people's no-hitters or perfect games. Okay. That's college, Japan, Cuba, and so on and so forth. Wherever it is. Okay. But there's also an expectation that comes along with it too. There's hype that comes along with it. Hype doesn't always translate at the major league level. So I think it's important to point that out as well. And again, this is not Roki Sasaki's accomplishment. It's a hell of an accomplishment. Okay. But there's also going to be a lot of hype. He's already being hyped more than Yoshinobu Yamamoto is. And the hype is going to stay until he's actually here. But again, this clause in his contract does not require his team to post him before he's 25. He doesn't have the track record that these other guys do. If you look at Yamamoto, he has a track record. Imanaga has a track record. Even Kei Igawa had a long, lengthy track record before he came here. The Yankees apparently got him on the downside of his career, so that turned out to be a total nightmare. But Roki Sasaki is going to come with that same type of expectation. And is it good to be excited about players? Yeah, of course. But again, I think it's important to also level a semblance of realism and common sense when this type of stuff as well. I like to do it. I can't speak for everybody else. So, and it doesn't mean you can't be excited about a player. It's awesome to be excited about a player. Players are exciting, right? But Roki Sasaki's not here yet. So until they post him, he's not here. So I hope that he continues. And one thing to point out too, after his perfect game in 2022, he also had oblique surgery. He had to tore his oblique muscle. And I talked to Dane about this last night, and he's absolutely right. And that is a huge, huge surgery to have for pitchers who use a lot of core in what they do. So, and coming from Japan to the majors, yeah, there is a conversion period. We've got to give that to Yamamoto. We have to give it to Tanaka. We've got to give it to Roki Sasaki when he comes here. So when he comes here. And I think it's Tani needed it when he came here as well. Okay. And even though he's he's a little bit, and he's obviously a generational special player. These guys need an adjustment period too. And my point is, hype doesn't always translate to success. So I think it's important to keep that in mind. And this is why I point stuff like this out, because I want you to have both sides of the story. I want you to have as much information as possible. Has anybody talked about Umanaga's and Agawa being on that list? Probably not, but they're on the list. Kodai Senga's on the list too. That's why I'm going to attach it down below so you can take a look at the list yourself and see, like, oh my God. And there's like 85 pitchers on that list. There's a lot of pitchers on that list from Japan. So, and I think there was 5 no-hitters or perfect games and no-hitters last year. 2, this, see, a batch of them on there. And, and I hope that when guys get, come here, they get an opportunity to do the same thing. I didn't think Hideo Nomo would throw 2 no-hitters, but he did. In the majors, he threw 2 no-hitters. So, and very unorthodox delivery, but he was good here. Tanaka was great here too. He had a partially torn UCL, and thank the heavens he didn't when he was with the Yankees, because he came with expectations and a huge contract too. So, but this is the type of stuff I wanted to share with you. Okay, take a look at the list. Let me know what you think. We'll continue to talk about it. Thank you to everybody for what they bring on the live streams, what they brought on the live stream last night. The comments and the feedback are key. But it's this type of stuff that I want you to know as well. It's okay to be hyped about Sasaki. Hell yeah, it's okay to be hyped about Yamamoto. Yeah. Okay, it's just like it's okay to be hyped about Munetaka Murakami. There's already talk about Murakami being posted in 2025 and Max Muncy's contract expiring in 2025. They already have him pegged for the Dodgers. So many fans. Just like they have, a lot of fans have Roki Sasaki pegged for the Dodgers. And I'll say this to conclude this. If the Dodgers can get these guys, so can the Yankees. Period. Happy New Year.